You ready to run some experiments? So we've discussed what experiments we're going to be running. We're starting with 10% training data, EfficientNet B0, and 5 epochs. And then we're slowly going to scale things up. We're going to slowly double the data, slowly double the model size, and slowly double the number of epochs. So doubling the training time. So starting small and scaling up when necessary. So let's jump back to our notebook here. And I've just got a note here. We're still keeping things relatively small so that our experiments run quickly. The quicker the better, so that we can work out what doesn't work, so that we can spend more time on what does. And what is our goal? A model that is well performing, but still small enough to run on a mobile device or web browser. So Food Vision Mini can come to life. So we need our model to be able to run on a smaller device. Now, if you had, I just want to put a note here, if you had infinite compute plus time, you should basically always choose the biggest model and biggest data set you can. And that's the beta lesson, right? Or a general method as well. That's another thing. So the beta lesson, I think I've mentioned this before in a previous video. See here. But that's some extra curriculum for you. Let's create some data sets, shall we? 7.3, download different data sets. Now, we've already got the 10% data set, but just for completeness, we're going to re-download it. So if we look over here, we've got data, pizza, steak, sushi. There we go. Now, if we did start with, if we come over here, if we did start with the whole Food 101 data set, we could quite easily download this from PyTorch using torchvision.datasets food 101. But I would still encourage you to even split out a random set of this, even if you have access to the full data set already. When you first begin, because this is 101,000 images, you want to keep your experiments quick. I can't stress that enough. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there all day waiting for a model to train. Once you figure out something that does work, well, then you can leave your model training all day and go to the gym or go for a walk or something like that. But to begin with, try to split out a small portion of whatever data set you're using and practice on that. And just a little reminder as well, if we go back to GitHub, this is the data sets we're downloading. Pizza, steak, sushi, there's the 10% version, and this is the 20% version, created in the same way as this one, but it just has doubled the amount of data. And if you'd like to see how they're created, I'll just get this notebook here, custom data creation. Takes the Food 101 dataset and splits it. So we want 2 data sets, which is 1 pizza, steak, sushi 10%, 2 pizza, steak, sushi 20%. So double the data. They were created with that notebook there, and we can go into this PyTorch Deep Learning data. We'll just copy the download link for this. You could download this locally. I'm going to write some code to download this into the notebook. So there's that link there. What I might do is while I've got that link, I'll just copy this one while we're here. Let's get up there. Oh, we need the raw link. So just make sure if you're downloading from GitHub, you use the raw link. There we go, raw. Beautiful. So let's download these data sets. And lucky us, we wrote a function up here to download data. So we can pass our link to our download data function. So let's try it out. We'll go back down to where we were. And we will create an image path. So we'll download the 10% data first. We don't have to do this, but we're going to just do it for completeness. And 20% data sets. So we'll create data 10% path equals download data. And the source is going to be equal to this link here. And then the destination is going to be, let's just create it as the same folder it already is in, pizza, steak, sushi. And then we'll create the data 20% path, which is going to be equal to download data source equals 20%. And then we will set the destination. We'll create a destination for that one. We'll just save it to pizza, steak, sushi, 20%. If I could spell percent right, that'd be amazing. So let's see what happens when we run this. So it skips the 10% because we've already got it. That makes sense. And then it didn't find the pizza, steak, sushi 20% directory, so it downloads and unzips that. We should now have, we've got those two data folders there. So you know what the next step is. We have to now turn these data sets into data loaders. And luckily, we have a script to help us do that in datasetup.py. We've got create data loaders. So that's my challenge to you for the next video, is to turn these data sets. Oh, what have I got going on? I've rearranged my window here. I'm going to fix this, but your challenge is to turn these two data sets into data loaders. And just recall, we're going to use the same testing data set, so the pizza, steak, sushi testing data for all of the experiments. So you only have to create one test data loader. So give that a shot, and we'll do it together in the next video.